And welcome back everyone on the LEC stream. Schalke 04 just scored their very first 2-0 week. I have Abedaga with me to talk about the game. Thank you very much for joining me. This is a first for you in 2020. So what do you attribute this to?
I think we've improved a lot the past 3 weeks. This week was probably our best scrim week with like a really good win record. And we've just been slowly improving over the months. So now we are at a pretty good point.
And you're bringing up something that Lurox mentioned yesterday when I talked to him. He also said that the scrim week was very good for you guys. So how come you had such good results in scrim? Like, what did you change?
I think it's just about the way that we we fit together as a team now. I mean, as I mentioned already, we've played with this exact roster for a long time now, and we've kind of just fused together, and we know how we want to play, and our macro is decent. So that's why I think we are pretty good right now.
And one synergy that was essential to me is the mid-jungle synergy, obviously, with you and Lurox. Can you tell me a bit more about this duo and how you guys managed to make things work together?
I think it just came through putting in more effort and also playing together for a longer time now. I think we play together for like 5 weeks now or something. And we've, throughout the last, 4 weeks, we've just put in a lot of effort and worked on it after scrim and working more after hours, like just staying at the office to improve our synergy.
Team building. Okay, I see. And how about you? Because I talked to several of your teammates already and about Schalke's mindset and within the team right now. But how about you? The past weeks, the results you had today, how do you feel?
Personally, I feel good about the stuff. We are not playing for anything right now, but I think we're just playing to improve and to prepare for the summer split. So we still take every game seriously in practice, so we can be as strong as possible for the start for summer, so that we can actually achieve something.
This is a strong start already, I want to say, even for you for this game. You were Kia player of the game here. The audience chose you, so what do you have to say to that?
That's amazing, guys. Thanks. I love SK Corky.
and that was a good matchup to see from you. Thank you very much, Abedaga, for the interview. See you next week for week 9. And we're going to take a quick break, and coming back, it is going to be SK Gaming versus Origen. Stay tuned.
Up. Hello everybody, let the game begin!
one. They're looking for more. SK were quick to react to the play from Xerxe.
Cooldown is Redemption Sniper with the hook shot comes out.
Oh my god!
Alphari with the 1, 2, 3!
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to our coverage of the LEC. This is still the Analyst Desk with your Motto, Cannon, and Ender. We are diving into OG versus SK Gaming, which is quite literally the top versus the bottom. Personally, I do also like watching these games because usually you have the one team that is tryharding, in this case OG still for their position in the standings, and then an SK who has nothing to lose but everything to fight for. So maybe we'll see something crazy.
I mean, honestly, I just want to see SK put champions in their players' hands that have like super high agency, because I want to see individuals on this team shine. It seems like for a while now, SK have been down in the dumps, not been able to pick up too many good-looking pieces, and I just think in the last 2 weeks of the season, it's time to give, faith to all your players and let some individuals pop off.
I think also on Origen's side, it's always the conversation of them breaking that top 3. What can they do in order to show us something that makes them look better than Fnatic and G2? Probably nothing against SK and Vitality yesterday, but in all honesty, I still feel like some of the same issues remain. I think definitely they easily smash anyone below them, anyone above them. I think, meaning Fnatic and G2, the mid game is just too slow, and they rely too much on the basics. I think they need to be able to think outside of the box and be able to pressure together a bit better. And this is something that I hope that the staff also has shown and seen so far.
Yeah, that's also something.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's not something that you can like learn overnight either. So like when I was coming to this week, I didn't expect to see like sweeping changes from Origen or for their game yesterday to blow me away and change my opinion on this team. Like this team is a very, very good team, but it's not until we actually see them go against higher quality competition that I think we're gonna understand what they are actually gonna look like, or if they can make those steps forward going into playoffs.
Well, I may be alone in this, and apologies if we talk over each other a little bit. Usually we have a very ingenious system to give symbols to each other when we want to talk, but now we have to feel it out and update that system. But when it comes to OG, though, and I might be alone in this, but often I do think that, like yesterday versus Vitality, they dropped the ball in the early game. They were behind in the early game, and I just don't want to see that either. I do want to see them smash teams like Vitality. I do want to see them smash teams like SK Gaming.
I agree in the sense that definitely Vitality, they got that solo kill, Crownshot solo kill, they got some early game kills as well, the 2v2 kill on bottom, Leona roam into topside, and then Vitality's issues showed and the Origin's strengths showed. They were just more disciplined and rotated around the map and played around the objectives just more cleanly. I agree that at this stage we probably want to see something more clean, but I think we're only feeling this way because we want to see Origen in that light where they contend against a Fnatic and a G2, and any opportunity to show us something new can be refreshing to all of us. Barring that yesterday, of course, they did play a Silas jungle that is relatively slow in the early game and not the healthiest clear. So I'm holding my reservations just because of the uniqueness of that pick.
Well, yeah, I think that is fair. When we looked at SK and Ender, I'll come back to you on this. As you brought this up, we want to see signs of life from SK. And I think when you look at what Schalke 04 has done these last 2 days, also a team of which we expected next to nothing anymore, you have to think that the same could be done with SK.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a possibility there, and I just want to see individuals shine on this roster. I think that right now, I've seen like a couple good games out of Crownshot. Like, his laning phases are usually decent, but playing ADC on a struggling team, you're never going to look good outside of the laning phase. Like, putting him back on something that's super comfortable. I think Jenax too has had highlight games, so if these two can be on playmakers or comfortable champions, like, that's what I would personally like to see, is to give them their moments to be able to shine, because there hasn't been much light for this team at all this season.
I just feel like SK Gaming, the way they draft is as if they're drafting towards their strengths, but they have none. As silly as that might sound, it just feels like the truth right now. It just feels unexciting. I think I follow the sentiment of Ender here that they should be given an opportunity to really spread their wings. This is the time for you to bring out, like if you practice Rengar jungle for some reason in solo queue, or something crazy that allows you to have the performance individually. Because right now the team play is not there. Right now, I just feel like most SK games are just them dying and bleeding slowly.
Yeah, well, if they're not given the opportunity, they should take it, damn it, SK. Just go rogue, pick whatever you want, and it picks some bands. In any case, they are looking to end the split on a high note, SK Gaming. They're taking on Origen in our second game of the day.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Quickshot tagging in for Medic as we jump into the next game of the day. Vedius, how are you doing? I had a lot of fun listening to game 1 of the day, and now I get to see what happens with OG and SK.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. OG's a team that I think we've been having a lot of conversations right now about, is Origen a team that can actually contest for the title? Or the throne, as we in Europe like to call it. And a lot of people still put them outside. And I kind of want to remind people that last year in spring, a lot of people thought the Origen would lose to Fnatic in the semi-final, and then Origen went and 3-1'd them. And I think what's important to recognize is best of 5 is a very different beast to best of 1, and Origen is a team that has been known to prep very well, and also come in with a lot of different strategies. And I think that Xerxe in particular is a player that adds a little bit more flair to this roster than you normally would see or have seen from them in the past. And I think that we're seeing examples from him all the time. Things like the Zac jungle, the Karthus jungle, the Silas yesterday.
I can't get it out of my head, Vedius, that OG to me might be like the KT roster of LCK. It's a team that you always believe in. You always have faith in. And just when your optimism and your hope, peaks at its highest, they lose the spring finals in the quickest series in European history, right?
I mean, that is
so. I don't know. But look, let's dive into the draft really quickly. Gangplank, Syndra, and Ornn removed from SK Gaming. On the other side, Senna, Aphelios, and Set taking out the pool. So Gragas near insta-lock here on the side of SK. No real surprises.
Yeah. So with the Gragas being up and available, and with that being a first pick from SK, you're obviously denying that from Xerxe. With both the Aphelios and the Senna being taken off the board, we're seeing a higher priority on the Misfortune. The blind pick list is a little surprising. I expected a jungle answer to come out from Xerxe here, but it looks like that he wants to hold on to that pick for the time being. Normally, we will see Origen save their solo lane picks until later into the draft. But because they're on red side, they could consider giving Nukeduck his LeBlanc and then banning away some of the potential counter picks, depending on what they're feeling. Because recently we've been seeing Nukeduck on a lot of the tanks, on a lot of the utilities.
I hate it. I hate
it. I mean, yes, but Frost was talking about it yesterday, how in the first half of the splits, that's why Alphari was doing so much of the team's damage, because he was kind of picking up the slack from Nukeduck. So we could see a LeBlanc here if he's feeling it, or we might just see the Karthus jungle come out from Xerxe.
Well, TK rounds out SK's phase 1. Karthus locks in on the OG side. Obviously, for those of you listening at home, still working on my audio levels, so I have been adjusting those and giving myself a little bit of additional gain.
You sound great, mate.
Thank you so much. I got a different microphone from yesterday, so hopefully the quality's gone up. And now we move into the next phase. I like seeing Yasuo taken away. Every time you see that Gragas combination, Gragas-Yasuo is just such a deadly duo.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I want to see what OG does. I love the Origen discussion we've had yesterday and today, especially when it comes to, when you think of the names, when you think of teams, you think of the stories, who's the contender, who are the exciting rookies, who's the team that is surprising you. Well, OG's not always the front of your mind.
No.
But you can't forget them because they are so freaking good. But I do want to see them have a confident win. I was not blown away by their match yesterday, but I didn't think that really is what's going to impact my opinion of their postseason chances.
Yeah, quick shot. Origen they don't come, what's the word? They're not circus performers, G2 Fnatic, when you go, you get a show.
Oh, I like that.
You get fire juggling, they swallow swords, they do all the crazy stuff. Origen, they arrive at work, 9 a.m., they are extremely efficient, they have lunch for half an hour at 12:30 promptly, and then following lunch they will finish their afternoon business, and then at 5 p.m. they will clock out. And you know that you will get that 9 to 5 expert efficiency, professionalism from Origen. At 5 p.m. they just clock out, and like that's the kind of team that you're dealing with right now. They do things by the book, they do things properly, and they'll do things cleanly if they can. And that's kind of been the debate around, if to beat Origen you kind of create chaos for them. You know, you create situations that they don't know how to react to, or you put them on
unplanned
competitions.
meetings that are not on the calendar.
Exactly. You know,
surprise them in one-on-ones they weren't prepared for.
yes, dude, you're getting it. You're getting it. Like you're in your office environment right now. You're feeling it, right? And that's
Tell them
Origen
the
just summed up.
toaster is a timer and not a level of heat, and that's it. You wreck it. Okay,
So like that's
Malachi
what
Mid,
we'll
this
look
is gonna
at
be
for
a
SK.
thing, right?
But there's a thing, right? So this all leads to SK's comp, right? What are we seeing in their comp that could create chaos? And like right now, this I like
Pantheon
this.
helps.
This is what we want to see. The Pantheon, really strong in the early game, creates a lot of opportunities because of its ability to roam. Like very flexible in terms of what it can do in the game. We're gonna see Ventair on a carry as well. This is what we like to see from SK Quickshot. They're going for a couple of comfort picks. They know that they can't make it to playoffs. So hey, let's see if we can upset Origen's chances. Ventair obviously coming into SK for the roster this week. And he is a big carry player. When he was playing in the National Leagues and the ERLs, he's the guy that you put on, like, he's known for his Quinn. That's his pocket pick, you know? So he's going to be playing the Camille, we've got Jenax on the Pantheon, and you've got Trick on an early game jungler like the Gragas. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. This can create some chaos for us, Quickshot. That's what you need to do if you want to kind of ruin the schedule of Origen.
Okay, give me a small review of Ventair yesterday. What did you think of his performance? What do you think of his, like, you know, debut game on SK side? And what is he going to do up against Alphari on Renekton right now? Maokai mid, just so you know, this is the first ever Maokai mid in European history, in LEC history.
Wow.
And of course, it's freaking Nukeduck that is playing it. Adding it, I'm actually going to ask my stats team how many unique champions have Nukeduck played now. I think it's in the 70s, so I'm actually going to, you know, ask for them directly to give me that info.
Yeah, you're right. He actually plays, the Champion Ocean, of course. He's known for that. He's added another one to his repertoire. So I think Ventair yesterday didn't have the best debut. I think the comp, though, that he was playing in, he wasn't really set up for success. They kind of struggled from the early game, and he did have a couple of moments on his set, but I think that with the Camille, he has more opportunity to shine. The problem is, again, he's not in a winning matchup. He's going to struggle. He's going to need some support from his jungler. And again, it's very dangerous to gank Renekton lane because early on, Renekton can very easily turn 2v1s in his favor. So I think Ventair is just going to have to try and play defensively, avoid the potential dives that can come through, and I think that he has the potential to be a big carry. Of course, Camille still scales very well. She's going to be a much bigger threat in the side lane later on. And I think that, again, what we're seeing is, Ventair, what do you want to play? And he's like, just give me comfort, give me the Camille. So it's kind of in his own hands. If he's feeling confident on the pick, then he can do a lot on it. But he is going up against one of our best top laners in Alphari. So we're going to see how he holds his own.
Oh, pressure is on. Let's see. What can SK Gaming do? 2 wins, 13 losses. They can still play a little bit of Heartbreaker and spoil on the side of OG. But let's be fair, let's be honest. OG looking pretty comfortable with a win-loss of 11-4. The teams behind them, 9-6. So feeling comfortable.
Well, quick shot. I'm going to put you on the spot a bit, but normally you have this kind of thing prepared.
Oh, this is brave.
So
this is brave.
we
haven't prepped together in the office. You're throwing me in the deep end, but I'm on board.
Origen
let's go.
and Fnatic, they have a 1-1 record this split.
That's correct.
Yes? Which means that they obviously can't play against each other for the rest of the split, right?
That's correct.
We've only got 1 week left. So in the event of a tie, where both are tied at 13-4, assuming they win all their games, right, from this point forward, they would have to play a tiebreaker game for that second seed, yes? Okay, so this is what SK could do for Origen, which is ruin their chances of either A, getting that tiebreaker, or being in a position to go ahead of Fnatic and secure that second seed.
I actually think if anyone wanted to play Heartbreaker and everybody wanted to be a bit more hungry to do it, like Origin's strength of schedule, they play XL and Mad Lions next week, right? Mad Lions pretty big game, right?
Yeah.
On the Fnatic side, they play Rogue today, Mad Lions next week, and Vitality. So if anyone wanted to play Heartbreaker and cause some trouble, let's live in a world where Mad beat Misfits today, beat OG next week, and beat Fnatic,
Wow, that's a crazy world you live in, my friend.
We could have Mad Lions in third. So, nevertheless, you did ask if I had it prepared, and I was just showing that I do have prep, is basically what that story was. And when we jump into game, Jenax obviously running that Pantheon mid. He's going to be up against this Maokai. And as, somewhat of a mid player, as Destiny will get that dredge line, what do you make of this unique matchup?
Right, so I'm actually... Oh, hang on. We actually have a bit of a gank in the mid lane.
We do indeed. Alright, keep running. Skittle. Yeah, you did not need to hype that one up, my friend. But I appreciate the effort.
I got so confused. You kept saying Skittle, and I forgot that Farthest's Q used to be called the Skittle because its animation was completely different to what it is today. And again, I got reminded how old you are.
That's a boomer reference, my word.
Yeah, that actually is super boomer.
Yeah, it really is. So, anyways, the lay waste is what I was referencing. But yes, used to be a tiny little Skittle on the floor. What do you reckon of what Jenax and Nukeduck are going to have to deal with in this mid lane? Now, Jenax also has no flash.
Right. So, the thing about Pantheon, he's one of the best early laning phase champions in the game. One of the main reasons for it is his passive, which empowers all of his abilities once he's got 5 stacks built up, right? I don't think anyone's going to die here.
To limits? I mean, Flash available for Destiny.
Yeah, but
no, I'm getting too excited.
Destiny.
Now I'm getting too excited.
No, but I mean, you're right. If the exhaust hadn't come through, that probably would have been a kill onto limit. Upset choosing not to use his cleanse, so they clearly weren't that committed to the play, which is fine. But yeah, going back into this mid lane matchup, the thing about Pantheon is he's super strong in the early game, and he just has such great setup with his jungler because of how easy it is to land his CC. Point and click, easy to execute, and then jungler can just show up, land the damage, hey, everyone's happy. So against a champion like Maokai, usually he's just going to get bullied a lot in the early game. And you can see that Nukeduck actually choosing to go for a very early base is going to grab the Dawn Shield as well as the Corrupting Potion. And this will make things harder for Jenax, because you're not going to have that same level of threat, but you can already see it in the CS discrepancy. Maokai really will struggle in this early 1v1 just because he can't match the sheer damage output. And one of the big things is going to be when Jenax hits level 6, because Maokai will never really be able to get priority in this 1v1, again, especially early game because of the damage difference, which means that Jenax can look for very early roams. The question is, where will he look to roam? Bot lane is one option, but pre-6, SK's bot lane don't have the best setup. Top lane is another option though, because when Ventair gets level 6, he's going to have the ultimate to lock the Renekton down, and of course he has the skill shot with his E that I forget the name of, the wall hack thing, and
yes,
he's going to be able to
hook shot.
Hook shot, that's the one I'm looking for.
Alphari's in trouble, by the way. First blood secured by Trick with the body slam. It looked like Alphari was chasing for the kill, just overeating.
Yeah, that's surprising though. Alphari is a player that, we gave the mid-split MVP. He is very well known for being very reliable in lane. He's a very strong laner typically, and he was just pretty overextended there. He had vision in the river, but Trick was able to just walk up, pressure him out, and find a kill. So I'm surprised that Alphari actually ended up dying there, but very early, big early advantage gain for SK.
Looking at the map, he's just pushing the wave in and just got jumped on. Yeah, well, I didn't see the setup.
Okay. So here from Alphari, what happened was he just wanted to push the wave and disengage, and then Ventair forced the all-in. And then I think Alphari just kind of got baited by it, because he's like, why are you trading with me? I can win this. Of course, the trade was for the purpose of the jungler coming in and helping him secure that kill. So Alphari did get caught off guard there, ends up losing his life, and now we see another trade in the top line.
Doesn't matter, he's teleported back in, got Cull, the double long swords, 18 CS up, and there's about 4 or 5 in the wave there for Ventair, so he's got the Cull as well. In the mid lane, you can see Nukeduck. He's now balancing out that CS number, and with First Blood and SK, they're plus 400 gold. So they're pretty happy with the start of this game, but I really want to see how effectively they can push this lead. Like, you talked about Jenax roaming and his options. If you mess that up, with Xerxe's Farthest and the ability to play around, and you can see a kill here on the mid lane coming in, Jenax will go down. Trick won't be able to help out. I mean, that was just really well coordinated. But yeah, I want to see what they're going to do, and if you misstep at all, Xerxe, we know how good he is on Farthest, and he can just take over the game.
Yeah, and so what we're seeing here is what I think many teams are really loving about Maokai. We saw it yesterday from Schalke, we're seeing it again today. His gank setup is ridiculous because he has the W, which roots you for about 1.5 seconds, I forget the specific timing. But then you also have the knock-up from the Q, which like sets up really nicely, and then you follow it up with the ultimate. So even if you cleanse something, there's just so much chain CC coming out from Maokai that it makes it super easy for the rest of their team to follow up. And the first gank that happened, they burnt the flash from Jenax. This time they brought Destiny to the party, and they were able to find a kill, and all that gold is going... Well, in an ideal world, they wanted to give that gold to Xerxe, but unfortunately the Maokai actually picked up the kill, which sure makes his laning phase a little bit easier, but you kind of want to be funneling that gold into the Karthus if you can. But they can just keep making this play happen. Like, you can see Destiny is already back in the mid lane, and Jenax is now being forced to play on the defensive, because he recognizes, okay, maybe I can beat you in a 1v1, but that doesn't matter anymore, because all that matters is the setup and the damage that can come through from the rest of Origen.
Well, as a quick update, the stats team did get back to me. Obviously, we don't have our regular comms, so they're a little behind. I was way off my original numbers. I initially said it was much higher. But anyways, that's his 52nd unique champion played in the mid lane over the course of his career. I mean, that is mind-boggling. He's now 1-0, got the bomb.
So do you say 57?
52.
52.
It's fine
so that
with
is...
Fancy.
Yeah, that is... I don't know why you think saying it in German would make it easier to understand. That is a third of the champions in our game.
Well done. Yes, yeah. That's how that works. Crazy. Some quick math there from Vidius. Matthias, maybe. Alright, Alphari's going to get jumped on here by Ventair. The Hextech ultimatum's available. Going to hold on to it. Here comes Xerxe, a little bit low on mana, but he's got double buffs. Wall of Pain comes out, and now Jenax joined the fray. Teleport coming down from Nukeduck. Nature's Grasp is available. Does he chuck it out? Throw the weeds. Not going to happen. I was hoping to see if Nukeduck threw the ulti and then the Requiem comes down. Maybe that would work. But anyways, didn't work out. Cool.
Yeah, that's actually a really cool combo. They found Trick though. I think their priority right now would just be stealing away these neutral objectives, deny Trick as much farm and gold as they can, getting even more farm and gold onto the Karthus. You can see the CS discrepancy starting to build between the two junglers. Karthus typically a very power farming focused jungler. He's going to be very happy with that one. And Alphari actually living off the back of that gank. So feels like after what was a bit of a shaky couple of minutes in the very early game, especially in the top lane, Origen have very quickly reclaimed control, and they're feeling very comfortable right now.
I mean, it's 1,000 gold lead. They balanced out those kills. I'm really looking forward to the team fights from OG. I want to see what they can do with the MF, the Maokai, the Nautilus. Something that's been a thread that really stuck with me a couple weeks back, and I'll get to that in a moment, is just how OG like to build a lot of CC in their comps, and this might be why. Dredgeline's going to catch out Trick. He's going to flash and get devoured as well. Noel will get taken out by the Requiem. And the rest of OG, they can now move in. They can take the Rift Herald if they want. They can push a tower. I mean, just immediately available to respond.
Yep, and you can see Limit is now getting chased down. He does have the flash, and he's going to be forced to use it. But SK are just kind of getting pushed around the map right now. They can't afford to contest any objectives right now. And the biggest problem for them is that this Pantheon, their big early game playmaker, was just basically neutralized. Right? When we think about what happened in the draft, they saw the Maokai tick. Of course, hang on, a bit of fighting down the bot lane.
Okay, here comes the Grand Starfall. Alphari in a 1v2, I think he should go down. Kill will be picked up by Ventair. So there we go, Pantheon finds the roam because the rest of OG on the Herald, and now Limit is forced to run away with that Abyssal Voyage.
So even though Alphari has died twice, he still has about a 30 CS lead over his lane counterpart. Just goes to show how challenging the matchup can be for the Camille, and also just shows how dominant Alphari is often in these winning matchups as well. Even though he is losing his life, it will obviously help Ventair. We seem to see a little bit more fighting in the mid lane.
Okay, track the lane waste, forced to flash. Dragon was picked up by SK, so that's the Infernal. But now Limit's in trouble. Grey Health will get activated, and I think kills secured here by a Nukeduck. Give kills to the carries, Nukeduck.
Yes. He's like, I am the carry now. I am the tree. Yeah, so he needs to stop stealing those. Try to get more money onto the Xerxe. The Xerxe? The Karthus.
I like that. Vedius.
Yes, mate.
You know, we've got a tree in this game, right? And it's like the mid lane.
Oh, you want facts? Okay, I've got some facts.
Do you have
for
owl
you.
facts for me?
No. Okay, so I've got a really fun fact for you, right? So you know trees, right?
Yes, I do.
If you cut them in half, there are rings inside on the stump that can tell you how old the tree is.
That's
right?
not a good fact. That's
Wait.
knowledge.
But there's another layer to this, right? So,
Okay, like an onion.
interestingly, scientists age sharks by counting the rings on their vertebrae.
Wait,
So
how does that
you-
work?
Right? Isn't it cool? So you can determine the age of a shark using the same method that you can by determining the age of a tree.
Well, this is going to be a dead trick. Caught out in his own jungle. Didn't even realize the entirety of OG had invaded. They've expanded their gold lead 2,000 gold. They went looking to see how many rings Trick had. No, that doesn't make sense. They killed him. They couldn't tell his age.
You tried really hard there.
Did. I tried to force it. I should not have tried to force it. That was a good, interesting fact, Vegas.
But it's cool, right? Like, it's, yeah. So if you ever stumble upon a shark and you want to know how old it is, just check the number of vertebrae on the shark.
Okay, I'm gonna try that because I do go diving from time to time, and I love looking at sharks. But I don't know if you can see with the naked eye, like how close we need to be, how good we
You
need
probably
to
have to be pretty close to the shark.
So
I don't know if you can
that
just do it with
changes
an
things
eye
a
test.
little bit. That changes it a little bit. All right, give me a prediction yet. Does Ventair get away with his life? Is there a dive on the way, or is it
You
just
think a
a
Miss
tower
Fortune's
push?
going to dive him? Is that what you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I think Alphari goes in, stuns him up, and bullet time. See, look at this.
I think
If
they're
he
just going for
stuck
the
around,
power.
they would have dove him.
Yeah, you know what? They probably would have. If we're being honest, you're probably right. What's interesting is Alphari is actually going for a Blade of the Ruin King rush, which Blade did get buffed on 10.5, and it's like really good on melees now. And we see a bit of a fight kicking off.
Oh, Nature's God's coming down. That's going to lock up TK as well as Crownshot. Trick's going to get taken out here in just a moment. No, he manages to survive. There goes Destiny over the wall with the flash. Continues to chase. Gets the brute down into limits, and the Dredge line pulls him back. Double kill for Upset. 6-2 and a 4,000 gold lead. This is a fantastic early game from OG and what you would expect in 3 versus 9.
Yep, very much so. And it was a situation where SK was like, hey, I think we've caught Maokai out of position. But he's in his natural environment. You know, you can't separate the wood from the trees, I think is the saying. And in this situation, they're like, okay, maybe if we just turn and engage, we can make this work out for us. But Limit's like, okay, I'm kind of awkwardly stuck here. I can't protect my AD carry. Maokai's left by his lonesome, but he's like, yeah, that's fine. And then the Farthest ultimate comes down to the chase. The TP Ventair doesn't really result in anything, and Origen are able to get themselves a double kill.
Well, nicely done. And for anybody just joining us, huge thank you. Some people may not know that we're broadcasting from home. All the LEC teams are playing from their gaming houses or their offices. Vedius and I are sitting in our respective bedrooms. I'm at a desk. He's at a chest of drawers.
I'm on a dresser,
as you do, you know.
I believe
and huge-
Reddit called it the original gamer setup.
The original gamer setup. I like that. But also, like, huge kudos to a lot of the production team. A lot of guys you don't see or hear from a lot. We had a lot of challenges yesterday, and I'm so happy with the change that we've had for now. Nevertheless,
and also if you guys have any feedback, if there's anything you want to say, you can always tweet at us. You can tweet at LEC. Like, they have a lot of updates as well, and all that feedback gets read and processed, and we're constantly trying to improve and make things better. So keep sending it our way, both positive and negative. We appreciate all of it.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And Origen, now we want to appreciate their mid game. Now, that could be a swear word. You know, in weeks gone by, appreciate Origen's mid game. I wouldn't have bet on it, so I don't really know.
Well, so the thing is, right? The thing is, Origen have always had like a pretty good early game. It's just often they draft themselves comps, which basically say, we don't need to do anything because we'll win by default, right? But I think that with this comp, they're in a similar position, largely because they have the Farthest, they have a really strong front line, basically with like triple tanks, even though Renekton isn't really a tank, because he gets so much health from his ultimate, he can soak up a lot of damage. Crownshot, I think, is safe. Alphari, on the other hand, probably isn't.
Okay, teleport's coming down from Nukeduck though. Maybe too late. Nukeduck, does he decide to commit? Requiem's on cooldown, so no, not going to chase further. Wasted teleport and kill 2 SK, so that was a good play.
Yeah, I don't think the kill did end up going on to Ventair, but he's kind of the player you need to look at for SK as a potential win condition if SK want to try and come back into this game. Crownshot, though, in some danger.
He is indeed. And he's going to get caught up. Flash over the wall. Nukeduck chases him down. Sapling, sapling. Oh, Requiem got the kill instead.
Wait, but you wanted him. You were saying that Carthus should get the kills. He needs to. Quick shot.
But that's in like before a time present of death is chasing you on the rift. Like, don't you think it's insane how the sapling toss, all this little like present saplings on this Christmas skin just look? So it would have been fun to see that happen. Even though it's the wrong call, it would have been fun.
I have a present for you. It's dead. Yeah, dude, I can definitely see Maokai being that sort of character. You can see the Magi's has been picked up by Xerxe as well, so he's going to want to stack those up. He's only at 5 stacks right now, but it's not very difficult for a Farthest to be able to build those up. The problem with Magi's is it's counterintuitive to your passive, because if you want to try and maximize the use of your passive, then you're not able to get Magi stacks, which means that you can see how the two things
and of course, by Carthus passive, the one that he death defied stays
that one.
Able to cast spells, but at the cost of stacks.
Yes, so you're always making a choice between Carthus. Do you play for stacks or do you play for passive? And right now, he's playing for stacks, which is fine. He's just not really fully utilizing the whole kit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. What about this kit? Nukeduck chasing with the flash?
So
I mean, that's just
this
really
is funny because back in the day, back in your era, quick shot, Maokai jungle used to be a really big thing, right? And what you would do is when a Maokai tried to gank your lane, you would flash underneath the tower the moment he used W, because once that animation starts, he's following you, regardless of where you go. You've got to hold that flash until afterwards, but you would flash under the tower to bring him with you. Unfortunately for Crownshot, he thinks he's flashing over the wall to safety, but Nukeduck has already pressed that W, so he's following him over the wall, he's hunting him down, he's chasing him, and they end up securing the kill. So like,
it does create a lot of
pros and cons of
funny interactions with that twisted advance. Sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's horrific. Yep. That time it worked out extremely well, and now Ventair, he's going to be able to get away from the wall of pain, so no skittles from Xerxe, and then he's easily going to escape. This is the 4th tower secured for OG. Yeah. 7 kills to 3. They've got a Mountain Drake under the belt, nearly 6,000 gold, and Shelly's going to get a secondary group onto the inhibitor turret. That's dead already. Jenax hasn't moved at all. No teleport available. Inhibitors down before 20 minutes. And the only advantage is going to give to SK is they're going to have some safe farming in the bottom lane. But this is an extremely dominant looking Origen. They're pushing well, and they're punishing SK.
Yeah, it's very much what you expect. I think Origen is playing extremely well right now. Everyone knows they are, of course, a very good team. There's a reason why they are 11-4 and why they sit among the top teams in Europe, and against teams towards the, like, anyone below them really, from 4th downwards, they've just kind of had the better of everyone in Europe. So outside of course that Misfits game early on in the split, but Origen are a very clean team. They're very calculated, and you know, we joked about it in Champion Select. The way you beat this team is you throw a random meeting on their schedule for the day, but it's difficult to catch them off guard. You know, like, they are a well-oiled machine. They're extremely organized, and
you've got to be really good to do it.
Yeah,
like, you can't just disrupt OG by luck. Like, you've got to have skill. You've got a game plan. You've got to execute it well. Because they don't mess up on the fundamentals.
I would say you have to be a connoisseur of chaos in order to disrupt the schedule of this Origen business squad.
Oh, dun 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 dun. OG were hunting. Connoisseur of chaos. We used the tortoise and the hare metaphor. One of my favorite match intros all split long was FLICKR introing OG versus Misfits 2 weeks ago in the studio. And I was really excited in the game up until Misfits decided to kind of int in the mid lane and just throw them away. But, you know, it gave some hope, gave some excitement. There's this rookie squad. Misfits will be playing Mad in the next game. It is our match of the week, and there's a lot on the line. That 4th place seed. And the world that I live in, if Mad Lions win it and then pick up some surprise wins. Hey, Mad are challenging for 3rd. That's the dream for me right now.
Well, I think it's an ambitious dream, but we'll see. Crazy things have happened here in Europe. Right now, Origen, no way they're actually going to do this Baron.
Yeah, not this team.
Okay, they're not. I was gonna say Origen doing a 21-minute Baron. That's crazy, but they are looking for a pick.
Oh, Dredge on a trick! He stepped right back into a body slam over the wall. He will get away to safety. Vedius, can I give you an inspirational quote? You know, because I'm like the old guy and like
hit me with your inspiration.
And whatnot. There's a saying that I heard years and years and years ago, and it said, set your dreams, aim for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll be with the stars.
That's inspirational. However, that doesn't actually make sense because the moon is closer than the rest of the stars. So you wouldn't actually be any closer to the stars. Objectively, if you're making your way to the moon, you're always just going to be closer to the moon than you are any other star. However,
I do not need a pedantic review of the moon. It was about visualization. It's a very intention behind the message.
Yeah, it's like you're trying really hard, and I respect that quickly.
Also, what does this mean in the world where Medic goes all pedantic on you and wrecks you for all your verbiage and terminology, but you get to do that to me? Oh, I need to reevaluate my life choices.
Listen, if you need more shark facts, then I'm your guy, alright? But when it comes to, literacy, that's where I kind of struggle. That's why I just speak for a living rather than write, because, me write no good. Anyway, in terms of setup right now, Origen are setting up full control around the Baron. They have the bot wave pushing in. They're creating that constant point of pressure. And of course, this is the farthest wave away from the Baron, which means that Ventair is almost always going to have to teleport. SK are doing what they can to alleviate some of this pressure, but they're losing full control of their topside jungle. And they have to be very careful about face checking because Origen are looking for Pics. And I think they're
going for the hunt. They've already got themselves Jenax is forced to flash, been locked down, Nature's Grasp has been thrown out. It's going the wrong direction though for Nukeduck. It did allow a kill onto Jenax, and now he's going to start to back away. Flash is used by Trick. Ventair's on cooldown, and now it's going to be a 4v5 in the Baron. You have to feel that OG are set up for success. Requiem is still up, but nothing, no ultis for Nukeduck, Upset, and Destiny.
Yeah, I think the OG is still strong enough to be able to secure this Baron without much contention though, and I think that unless, they're going to go for it.
Vessel Voyage into the red buff. I mean, that's pretty clever, but now remember, Trick, no flash available. I don't think the Blast Cone is up there either. Alphari's going to step forward and not going to be able to do it. Good idea, they didn't have the tools to go for the steal.
Yeah, they did try. I liked the plan coming out from SK, but unfortunately for them, it doesn't come to fruition. 23.5-minute Baron for Origen, and we're going to have a look back at this pick, and this is exactly how you're supposed to play around the Baron. I think a lot of the times we see pro teams just kind of get this vision control, and then they just go back to Baron. They don't actually utilize the fact that they controlled this space, and this is a great example of how to properly use Fog of War. SK has to face check, otherwise they run the risk of losing Baron, and by face checking, you're the team that obviously is in a better position for success. So they find a good pick onto Jenax, they convert it into a Baron with absolutely no contention, and now they can set up for, I don't think they need the next Drake, he's not spawning for another 2.5 minutes, and they're more than strong enough to just siege onto the base. So bot inhib exposed, they should push in mid, they should push in bot, and they should start playing through these two lanes to look to try and end the game.
7,000 gold lead, as you mentioned. Baron for a couple of minutes. They've got themselves 2 Drakes already. I mean, Infinity Edge Essence Reaver Rapid Fire Cannon on MF. She's going to be able to, double tap and get good chunks onto many of the squishies in SK. Woo! Destiny almost finds the dredge line. And remember, if any of that burst damage comes down, Xerxe can just finish them off with Requiem. It becomes a zoning ultimate and they can take the objective. So they don't even need a full-on fight. Throw down Nature's Grasp, force people to back away. If anyone gets tagged or caught, then bullet time and Requiem, and that's it, done.
Well, here we go, SK going for a fight.
Will hit Nukeduck though. Does manage to get the ultimate out. It is going to manage to get a couple of roots. Trading mid lane as 1-for-1, but with Baron, they may be able to take this tower a couple more shots. Not sure it's worth, but they got the tower.
Well, one of the big engage tools is actually now gone for Origen. SK could look to try and hold. They still have their AD carry alive. Nukeduck will have the teleport, so the moment he's back up, he can look to join the rest of his team as Origen continue to play through 2 lanes, creating pressure in mid. They land a hook.
Alright, they do indeed. Their limit's going to flash away. Just when you see, come on, Upset, where's the bullet time? Where's he going to go down? Down in the bottom lane, Alphari's going to take the inhibitor. I'm going to need a pop shield for my mind. I need to work on that for next time. Bullet time's going to clear out the wave, and then Baron Empowered Cannon Minion, with the help of Upset and Destiny, will take out yet another inhibitor. 25 minutes on the clock. OG, just dominant performance, looking very, very strong, making a statement to end Week 8, and looking very comfortable right now.
They certainly are. That's 2 inhibs down. Xerxe only 7 stacks on his Magi's, which means that hasn't been able to properly find as many kills. I feel like he should have prioritized getting an earlier Dark Seal. He's been involved in 7 of the 9 kills so far this game, so clearly not min-maxing on the carcass, but difficult to really criticize his play considering how clean Origen has been overall. Final inhibitor tower in their sights as Origen look to try and close out this game.
Chain of Corruption comes down. Devour needed to save Crownshot with the Nature's Grasp. There you go. Zones everyone away. TK was caught out. Limit in a little bit of trouble. Good damage onto Xerxe. Min-max that passive. Run away. Run away because you don't want to lose the stacks. Xerxe is committed to a strategy. He's got 7 Magi's. He doesn't want to lose them by going into Deathified.
He certainly does not. He is going to hit level 15.
You could not have cared less about that setup.
Yeah, agreed. Quick shot, agreed. He will casually walk away. I mean, sometimes I think that, you know, we should just cast in like a really dramatic voice. You know, like that guy in the movie trailers? You know, like the one man, one destiny. You know, like Alphari, his epic tale against the Cloud Drake. Will he come out victorious?
Well,
Only
yes.
time will tell.
I wish I could, but I don't think either of us have the voice. We'd need
No,
Yamato
you
to do that segment. Yamato would be the only one that could like really pull that off. Maybe Dracos?
Yeah, maybe. Because the best I've got is the Welsh accent where like, oh, will Alphari do well against the Drake? I
Not
don't know.
quite.
Guess I'll have to wait until he shows it. Not quite the same intensity, really.
It doesn't have the same message, my friend.
Yeah.
But let's turn our attention super quickly, by the way, to SK. Look, 2 wins, 13 losses. It's going to be 2 and 14 after this game. There's 2 games left in the split. It's a disappointing split for SK. You know, I expected to have more. Didn't see a lot of development and growth from them. And for an organization that, you know, kind of stood out a little bit in 2019, I want to see what's going to happen in Week 9, and I want to see what they're going to do in the summer split.
I mean, last year they were able to make playoffs, and, you know, they had a pretty strong start to the year. Unfortunately, things didn't really get better, especially the loss of Selfmade really hurt the team. And now it looks like SK going to go for one last-ditch fight. Jenax forced out almost immediately.
Not on the same plan. I mean, or not on the same page. Ventair teleported in, didn't find an opportunity. Then Starfall comes down. Devour will save Jenax for now. It may have killed him, but only 7 stacks in the end. The Donos also had enough damage. Trick goes golden in the middle of the team. He's going to get caught out. Ventair is putting pressure onto Xerxe. Xerxe's got now 9 stacks on that Magi's. Good damage from Ventair. Hook shot into Precision Protocol. And we'll go down. Xerxe, 15 stacks. Alright, now we're getting worth. This is definitely the right call, albeit slightly irrelevant when you're on the Nexus Siege. And now 3 members of SK Gaming going to try to defend. As you mentioned, Crownshot trying to do what he can, get stunned up, but will get devoured by Limit. He's going to get caught out and popped, blown up, upset. No bullet time available. And the lay waste won't be enough to do it. I mean, Origen with a dominant victory over SK Gaming. Absolutely destroy them to close out Week 8.
Yeah, Origen is kind of what you expect and what you want to see from a team that is currently sitting in our top 3. These level of dominant performances just goes to show how clean of a team they are. Strong early game, effective use of the mid game, constantly being proactive, great setup around the Baron. There are very few holes to poke right now. The only question mark I'm bringing to the table is Alphari. A bit of an uncharacteristic performance from him. His early death, kind of not what we expect. When he died in the bot lane where he got ganked by the Pantheon ultimate, something that he would usually think about. And it's one of those things where how much do we read into it? Perhaps against a team like SK, maybe he wasn't taking them as seriously. It's you know, it's something to think about.
It is something to think about. It's something to think about for another day. Right now, I want to announce the key player of the game. Nominees, it's at LEC on Twitter. You can vote for Xerxe, Nukeduck, or Upset. I don't need a follow-up from you, Vedius, because coming up next, it is time for our match of the week as Mad Lions take on Misfits Gaming in a battle of the rookies. Before that, we'll get some insight from Nukeduck on his champion Ocean. So don't go anywhere.
This is the battle of the rookie of the split because there are a lot of rookies in the LEC this split, and I think everyone is showing up that rookies are here to stay, you know?
The game against Misfits is important because for us it means that we would be able to make playoffs more likely. Also it means that someone from our team might get the rookie of the split.
I'm sacrificing a lot to be where I am right now.
When I joined LEC, nobody really knew me, and I think I proved I deserve to be here.
Welcome back to the LEC stream, guys. Sorry, Origen just won their second game of the week, and I have Nukeduck with me to talk about this one. Congratulations, Nukeduck, on winning this game.
Thank you.
It was very one-sided, really. You brought the 3 SM vibes here with the Maokai mid lane, and I want some explanations about the matchup and why can Maokai be a good option on mid lane right now?
Maokai is really good because they buffed Sunfire. So right now, if you have to blind pick mid, Maokai is like one of the safest picks.
And there's been a lot of talks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
He's just right. No, it's like he can. He doesn't need to farm as much, and he's like tanky in late game, and he can kill people. I think it's very good.
Okay, and I thought the up of this Sunfire cap has something to do with that, but there's been a lot of talks around the rise of tanks with the recent patch changes, and is it something that can have an impact on mid lane pool overall, or is it a few champions just like Maokai that can go in mid lane?
Because of the Sunfire, or the next patch, this patch?
Because of the Sunfire, yeah, on this patch.
Yeah, it's mostly Maokai and Ornn, I think, but you could play pretty much any tank mid. I think it's I think it's good because on mid you're safe in laning phase, so you can play all the tanks.
Okay, and a good flex option, which leads me to the next question for you, because this game was your 52nd champion played on mid lane over the course of your career, which is a lot basically because it's 1/3 of the champions we have in game. So how do you manage to train champions and always have new flex picks to bring on game when also playing and staying consistent in game?
It's because I played for a long time, so I know what's the job of mostly all the champions. So whenever I, for example, pick up Maokai, I know what I'm supposed to do in the game, and I know, like, let's say the big picture, what I'm supposed to do, and then even if, the small mechanics aren't as good because I didn't play that much, I can just focus on that in a few games and try to make sure I know all the best combos and all the trades. I don't need to use a lot of games to pick them up because I already know how they're supposed to play because I played for a real long time and I played a lot of solo queue for the last years.
Okay, I see, but still takes a lot of time to get a big matchup knowledge on all the champions, so congratulations on that. And also, congrats on qualifying to playoffs. We didn't have a chance to talk about this yesterday, but you made it.
Yeah. I guess that's good, yeah. We're pretty much locked already, but yeah, it's nice to win. We're just hoping Fnatic drop a game now, so we can get second spot.
I guess it was expected, obviously coming back from last year, but when you look at the journey you had from the beginning of Spring Split to now, are you happy with the evolution the team had?
Yeah, for sure. We got really strong players in the off season, and I think we found the way now to everyone have their job on the team, and everyone is included in our play style, and everyone kind of knows what they need to do for the team to win. So yeah, I think we're gelling pretty well.
I see, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this one turns out in the playoff. And to end this interview, I can announce you that you were chosen as the Kia player of the game here by the audience. So congrats on that also.
Wow, with a tank, that's a new one.
Well, thank you for the interview. We're going to mark a quick break, and coming back, we will have Mad Lions facing off against Misfits for the match of the week. Stay tuned.
is my creed. The boots that make me faster. The items that make me stronger. The potions that I drink. I get the best to be more powerful, so my champion rises to the top. But all this leveling up means nothing if I don't level up myself. It's the healthy potions I drink in real life that make me stronger. Because you can only rule the game when you realize you are your most important champion. To play like a pro, eat like a pro.